So I keep seeing the same 4 words come up on this app, and I've seen a million videos on it, and I hate to add to it, make my own one, but raw Japanese selvage denim. There we go. I've said it. I want to talk about it. I'm very lucky that I've worked in Japanese denim with raw denim and selvage denim for quite a while now. My last 2 jobs, I've been working with companies who import it and sell it here in the UK. And I also sell vintage for myself and sell a lot of vintage selvage denim. So hopefully I can clear up some of the myths. I've seen a lot of kind of false facts and things that have been lost in translation over time make their way into videos. I just wanted to clear up a few things. Also talk about why it's so special and why I love it so much. So I've got a list of things here. It's not too long. I do definitely want to make a really long video about this and really go into depth. If people like this, I can definitely do that, or maybe do different ones or do a series about it or something. But I'll just kind of go and do a light overview, clear up those myths, and hopefully explain a couple of bits. Firstly, what is selvage denim? So selvage denim just refers to the way denim is traditionally made and the way that high quality denim is made nowadays. It's a bit of a slower process. It's more expensive than making denim how a lot of brands make it now. It's on a thing called a projectile loom. Denim is made on a shuttle loom. It's an old machine. It's a very slow machine. It's about 15 times slower than the modern ways of making denim. The actual word selvage comes from self-edge. So I've heard a lot of people call it salvage. It's selvage denim. It's not a real word. It doesn't really matter anyway, but it refers to this little thing here. So this is called a selvage ID. This is the 2 ends of the fabric as it comes off that shuttle loom. It creates a tight, tidy, and kind of self-incorporated edge. There is, if people want it, a more in-depth video about how denim is made. But basically, it's a load of cotton that goes like that, and then a piece of cotton that's on a thing called a shuttle that goes in and out of those, it wraps around at the edge and creates its own edge. The red line that people refer to is just an old kind of marker of Levi's denim. It was a way for the factory to distinguish between Levi's denim and other denim that they were making. So there's nothing to do with it. Loads of people have different colors on the edge of their selvage, but that is a selvage ID. Not all selvage denim is going to have one. Some jeans that are cut a little bit slimmer, Levi's 505 back in the day, a lot of them weren't selvage because of the way they cut. It was hard to cut it on a straight line, so they didn't use the selvage for a lot of them. About 1 in 10 did. Also, my hat is selvage. My hat is Cone Mills denim from the White Oak Mill, and it's cut in between the selvage ID, so it has no selvage ID, but it's still selvage denim. The thing that makes it a little bit better than most denims is the fact that you can have a little bit more control over the actual denim and the characteristics, the type of cotton and thread you can use. You can use a much thicker yarn and heavier cotton and different types of cotton. It's a very slow process, but it's a very manual process, and it allows your denim to have a lot more character and thickness and weight, a kind of broader spectrum of denim can come out of it, whereas projectile loom denim usually doesn't have as much character, isn't quite as interesting, and is lower quality in general. You can have good selvage denim and you can have terrible selvage denim. I've seen some great pairs of jeans that aren't selvage denim and just projectile loom. The best denim in the world is going to be selvage, but you can also have cheap, low quality denim that is made on a shuttle loom or a modern version of a shuttle loom. Uniqlo make cheap denim that's selvage. It's not the worst denim I've ever seen, but it's not really where you would want to be if you were spending the money to get selvage denim. So selvage is expensive. Japanese selvage denim is expensive. There are no 2 ways around that. It's about half the price in Japan as what you'd pay in the West. In the UK, where I am, a good pair of jeans or good pair of selvage Japanese jeans is going to run you about £250 to £300, sweet spot being kind of bang in the middle of there. My favorite jeans are these ones. These are full count 0105s in the middleweight, 13.75 ounce. They are £280 retail. In Japan, I think they're about £150. The reason you're paying for that is import and shipping. But even if they are the Japanese price, that's still £150 for a pair of jeans. It's a lot of money. And you're paying for a slower production. They're made by people who care and know what they're doing. High quality cotton. This is made of Zimbabwean cotton. And they're small companies. They have small runs and they've got to stay afloat. That's the reason you keep seeing companies like Levi's with LVC. They've scrapped the LVC line now because it doesn't make very much money. These guys aren't becoming billionaires from doing this. Obviously, they're making a bit of money. The money goes into the denim. It goes into the garment. It's not going into a logo and a marketing campaign or anything like that. You get what you pay for. I hear a lot of people talking about them lasting your whole life. That's not true. They'll last you a long time, absolutely. They'll last you longer than most pair of jeans will if you look after them and you wash them regularly and you get them repaired. They'll last a very, very long time. I've got a pair of jeans here that I showed you earlier. This is a pair of 1947 Levi's. They could be from a couple of years later than that, but this is the 47 model, so it's going to be somewhere between 1947 and I think about 1951, somewhere around there. And I've had them repaired and the pocket's missing and everything, but they are still very much wearable. They would have been washed regularly. A lot of people argue whether you should wash them or you shouldn't wash them. If you want your jeans to look like this and have this sort of fade, then you don't wash them, but they're going to fall apart. But if you want them to have this vintage fade and last as long as you can, or as long as they can, then you're going to want to wash them. My rule of thumb is wash them about every 30 wears. So if you wear them every day, wash them once a month. And it's still quite a lot. They're going to get dirty. Don't feel weird about washing them. If they do get dirty or they feel a bit gross, just wash them. I'll do a whole video about washing if people are interested in that, because it's a bit of a weird topic. People are super scared about washing their jeans, or I get a lot of questions at work. How do I wash them? Why do I wash them? What's the best way to do it? Should I do it in the machine? Should I do it by hand? These jeans I've had for about 2 years. I just chuck them in the machine. I turn them inside out, chuck them in the machine, do it on a delicate cycle. They've been absolutely fine. There's reasons you want to do it in certain ways, but as I said, this is an overview and I can discuss that in a separate video. What is the difference between selvage denim and raw denim? So raw denim can be selvage, but it can also not be selvage. Selvage denim can be raw or it can be rinsed. Basically, it just means that the jean hasn't been washed. Once it comes out of the factory, it's just a pair of jeans that is stiff and it's starchy, and if you wash it, it's going to shrink. Some people like that. They like the process, going through and picking a jean that's going to shrink the right way to fit them. You'll hear the term shrink to fit, which is an old Levi's branding term. It's a type of denim that people get obsessed with. But not all selvage denim is raw. The second you wash it, it's no longer raw. You might have started raw, but as soon as it's washed, it's not raw anymore. I prefer not to go raw. I started with these as one wash. I bought them rinsed from the shop, and I just want to know that the jean I try on and look in the mirror is the jean I'm going to go home with. Some jeans can shrink as much as 4 inches in the hem, so you never know how short to get them hemmed. Should you get them hemmed? It's a bit of a nightmare, but it's all about getting the right fades, how you want your jeans to look. That kind of also leads me on to fading. One of the main reasons people love this denim is to do with fading. I love the way that my jeans have faded, but it's not because they're selvage. Selvage denim is usually used with cotton that has been rope dyed with indigo. So rope dyeing, again, I'll do a video going in depth if people want it, but rope dyeing is a process where you take yarn, you dip it in a vat of indigo, and pull out a synthetic indigo. Natural indigo is a whole other thing. You're spending a lot more money on a pair of natural indigo jeans, but it's synthetic indigo, so it's nothing to do with the indigo being real or not being real or whatever. It's just the process of rope dyeing. So that indigo doesn't fully penetrate the cotton, it doesn't fully bond to the cotton, so every time it's agitated or there's friction or anything like that, the indigo comes off the surface, and then when you wash it, that surface indigo comes off. You start seeing the weft from underneath, as well as the actual lighter bits of cotton under that indigo, and that's why selvage denim typically fades better, because most selvage denim is rope dyed. It's nothing to do with the fact that it's selvage. I think also one of the most important things to clear up is why Japan. You always hear Japanese selvage denim or raw Japanese selvage denim, and the best denim is made in Japan, there's no doubt about it. But why? There's a myth. After the Second World War, there was like a second industrial revolution in the States in denim. They didn't need all these old shuttle looms anymore. Once they introduced projectile looms, they just shipped off all the shuttle looms to Japan, and then guys just started making denim on them for whatever reason. It's not true. Denim or jeans really appeared in Japan in like the early to mid 60s with brands like Kojima and Canton and Edwin. They may have registered earlier, but that's when they started making 5-pocket Western American jeans. Elphick-John was kind of the first American jean that was made in Japan. It came from kids seeing the GIs. The American GIs who were stationed on the bases in Japan would wear jeans out and about, and they wanted to replicate this look, but they couldn't get American denim. There was a sort of a grey market for jeans. I don't know how to say this in a TikTok-friendly way, but ladies who worked predominantly in the night, who would work with these GIs for an evening, the GIs would pay them in denim, and it created this kind of grey-black market. Jeans are expensive, so there was a hole in the market for stuff that was made in Japan. Initially, the denim wasn't fantastic. They were just trying to copy American denim. And over the years, it got better and better. And that's what led into what we know today as Japanese denim. They've been doing it for a very long time. They've truly perfected the craft over that time. Modern Japanese denim and the way we look at denim now is usually put down to 5 companies. They're called the Osaka Five. You had Evisu initially with the painted gold that everyone has seen. Then you had Warehouse and Full Count. They both came from Evisu. So the guys who set up those companies used to work for Evisu. And then when Evisu became a bit more of a fashion brand, they split and wanted to make more heritage denim. Then you also have Studio D'Artisan and Denim. So Studio D'Artisan is the oldest of those companies. Denim is actually now being bought by Warehouse, which is great. It was a dying company and Warehouse have now bought it, but it's basically just making other cuts made by Warehouse. It even has like Warehouse tags inside now. So it's basically the same brand. But those are the 5 brands that really pioneered Japanese denim as we know it today. There is a new school of Japanese denim that started about 15 to 20 years ago that is about really pushing the boundaries of what denim can be as a fabric. That's where you start to see this really heavyweight denim. You've got brands like Oni, which is these here. This is a very normal pair of Onis, but they usually make quite heavy denim, very slubby textured denim. A lot of it's with these brands are slimmer cuts, because if you're going for the fades that most people who want heavy raw denim go for, you don't get them with wide jeans. There's another thing to talk about. If you want your jeans to have crazy fades and crazy honeycombing, you're not going to get that if your jeans are wide. You need to be kind of tight on your leg and actually create creases. So you've got Momotaro, Ironheart, Samurai, as I said, Naked and Famous. They've just made a 40-ounce pair of jeans. They're really pushing the idea of what denim is, but that's a very new school, experimental area of denim and selvage denim, and that's not just Japan. Naked and Famous aren't Japanese. So that's a whole nother topic again. So as I said, there's a million other videos we can make about this. For me, I think Japanese denim matters and selvage denim matters very much today, because we're in a world where everything is done as quickly as possible and it's done with every cost-cutting measure. When you look at Japanese denim, it's the total opposite. They're trying to make the best product they possibly can. Price point comes later, and that's why they are so expensive. But it's all about slowly consuming. I just have this pair. I have a vintage pair as well, but that's my only pair of indigo jeans. That's the whole point. You have one pair and you wear them as much as you can, and you make them your own. This started as a dark pair of indigo jeans, and now it's got my own character and my own fades, and I'd be heartbroken if I lost this pair of jeans. They are my jeans that I've basically customized through wearing. You're meant to wear them as much as you can, and they're going to look after you, and it is an investment for a lot of people. I think that goes completely against so much of what clothing manufacturing is now, and also it's a rejection of designer. So designer stuff, you pay for a label and a brand, and I love designer, but I think so much of it is now about consuming and showing off, whereas this is all very personal, something that's a personal journey. I think that's lost in a lot of modern clothing manufacturing and retail, and just clothing in general, especially in menswear. I would love to do a video also about recommending denim. There's so many different fantastic brands. For me, my favorite is Full Count. Is the 0105 again. So selvage doesn't have to be indigo. It doesn't have to be about fading. It's just about great denim. So this is an undyed ecru version. This is the normal one that I'm working on. And then this is a pair of Oni 242s. So I'd love to talk about brands and stuff I recommend. I'd also love to talk about vintage. As I said, I've got a pair of old jeans here. This is a selvage jacket. This is a Levi's Type 2. So I'd love to talk about other things that involve selvage as well. So if there's anything people want to know, please leave a comment or let me know personally. And I'd love to start making more videos about this kind of stuff, but not just denim. I talk about anything at all. I've been filming for like an hour now, so I've got to cut this down, and I'll try and make it as short as possible. I really appreciate people making it to the end and actually watching this video. But yeah, stick around, and I'll definitely be making some more videos soon.